What gas stations do you guys prefer to fill up at? I I have filled up at just about any and every gas station, and I've never really had any
Yeah,
issues.
I mean, we've
But
talked about this before, but most everything that's out there these days, unless there's some freak incident or some terrible
hmm
something or other at
that
this
could happen
particular
anywhere.
station, you should be okay on most stations. I mean, some areas will run different winter blends that can be nastier than others, but that's usually a region that's going to be impacted by that. But the particular stations are usually pretty close to each other.
I would say like affiliating huge differences in quality between different brands of fuel is pretty much BS. I think Chevron puts certain type of cleaners and
There's
detergents in their
additives and
fuel,
detergents and yeah.
and that could be good or bad. I don't have any data to say that if you fill up a Rotten Robbie's that you'll carbon faster than if you were doing Chevron. I'm not sure. Again, you put the gas in your tank, you don't see the detergents and whatever they say. What do they call their stuff? Chevron has
Oh God,
they have a
their
brand of
branding.
like
They don't.
stuff they
Yeah.
put in there, but and I don't. I've never really had or seen a bad tank of fuel again, unless Nate says like they accidentally pour milk in the tank instead of
We've
gasoline.
we've seen that station.
That happened here.
What was it, San Jose? There's a
E85.
E85 got mixed with diesel.
Yeah.
That caused all kinds of fun.
So we rebuilt some people's cars from that incident. But generally, fuel is a very strictly regulated, very finely manufactured product. People aren't just like making gasoline in their garage and selling it. So this, gasoline is manufactured in world class refineries with incredibly strict regulations. Some of the most accurate and process driven scientific manufacturing processes on Earth. So generally, you're not going to have an issue with gasoline unless something shady is going, something like that. So or blatant mistake. I do think a lot of Techron, thank you. I do think sometimes tuners try to blame problems with their tuning on like, oh, what fuel did you use? That's just a diversion tactic.
We do ask it sometimes when we see something that's way out. Our
If we have a
from the
reason
from
to,
the tech support stuff, we see a lot of knock activity that wasn't there before or something weird. We're like, hey, can you just fill up? Get a fresh
but what I'm talking
tank
about
full.
is you're asking that question after looking at logs,
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So this is a tuner, just be like, oh, you don't like the tune? Oh, you must got a bad tank of gas. Try using a different gas station. And if they kind of
Yeah, yeah, no,
divert
it's database questioning.
they divert the customer's attention long enough, and maybe you'll forget that the car actually drives worse than it did 3 months ago, and at some point you'll just get used to it or you'll do something else. So I'd like to call that out, but it's possible we will ask you that based on if we see something data driven in your logs,
Yeah.
and then but I we're never gonna just. I think we've solved a lot of issues for customers. Generally, it's not because of what gas was in their tank. What brand. The octane, yes, that's
Yes, you put the
important.
wrong octane in. Yeah.